So we're on our road trip right now, about 2.5 hours up from Johannesburg. And in most countries, roads connect places that kind of grow together. One gets bigger, we need to connect it to the bigger city, kind of like that. In South Africa, many roads connect places that were forced apart. Distance was used as a tool to enforce racial segregation. And you can see that very clearly on a map. To understand this properly, we need a little bit of context. For much of the 20th century, South Africa operated under a system of laws that enforced racial separation. These laws didn't just control people socially or politically, they controlled space, where people are allowed to live, where people are allowed to work, and how far they're allowed to travel between the two. And that kind of planning leaves a mark. And this, it wasn't symbolic. People were required to carry passbooks, physical documents that stated where they're allowed to live, work, and travel. And if you were found in the wrong place without the correct permission, you could be arrested. Movement wasn't just designed, it was enforced. Let me show you a clear example. This here is Johannesburg city centre. Historically, this is where jobs, offices, and economic activity were concentrated. Now look southwest. This is an area called Soweto, short for South Western Townships. And for those of you who don't know, a township is a residential area designed mainly for black South Africans, and at the time, poorer individuals. And I want you to notice the distance. Soweto isn't just slightly outside the city. It's far enough that daily travel becomes unavoidable. Now look at the roads connecting these two places. You'll see only a small number of major routes. Long, direct corridors between Soweto and Johannesburg. These roads weren't designed for choice. They were designed to move large numbers of people from where they were allowed to live to where they're allowed to work. So this is what it's meant by social engineering, not technology. By using infrastructure like housing or roads to shape how society actually functions. Who moves, how far they move, and how much time and money that movement actually costs. Distance, it wasn't a side effect. It was part of the system. It was designed like that. Those laws, they ended in 1994 when South Africa got democracy back. But if you look at the map today, the layout, it hasn't changed too much. Soweto is still there. The economic center is still there. And the same roads are doing the same jobs. Concrete, it doesn't disappear when the law changes. So we're on the road now. We're actually heading north. This pattern, it doesn't stop in Joburg. Just north of Pretoria is a place called Hammanskraal, which includes townships like Temba. Under the old system, or the Apartheid regime, this area was placed under the so-called homeland. These regions were created to force black South Africans to live outside urban areas, while still supplying the labor to the cities. Now look at the road connecting it back, the N1. People were made to live far away, and the roads like this became the only way in and out. And we're literally driving through that decision right now. So when you drive on South African roads, you're not just traveling through space. You're moving through a layout that was designed to manage separation through distance. And that history, it's still built into the country today. So South African roads, they're not neutral. They reflect choices about who can live where and how the movement was controlled, down to exact individuals. And understanding that changes how you should view these maps and how you see the road right in front of you.
Soweto Blues.